Bonjour, roseauriverjiujitsuinterview. So just in English, my name is Jason Perato, and I'm one of the main instructors here in Roseau River for the Roseau River Jiu-Jitsu Club. And so what we do once a week, we have young students come in. I'd say they're probably from 12 to about 6. So a young group that comes out and trains and learns Jiu-Jitsu every Wednesday with us. 7:30 to 9, we have like an older group. So that would be pretty much adult or older teens. They would come out as well. But the difference is with the younger group as well as with the older group. But specifically with the young, we have our philosophy, or the way that we teach, is based on our 7 teachings. We are Anishinaabe people. It is an art, a martial art known as Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And the style that we train is called Bearing Jiu-Jitsu. Under our master Silvio, who comes all the way from Brazil, does our grading and makes sure that our Jiu-Jitsu skills are up to par. In association with Academy 64 in Winnipeg. So as far as the technical stuff is what we teach as far as Jiu-Jitsu, but the other component that we add with our young specifically is the Ojibwe language, Ojibwe instruction, and also some identity and some storytelling, like through our camps. So a lot of who we are as Anishinaabe, and trying to live the principles that we were given as Anishinaabe, which are very parallel to that of the martial art. And the one for our active students we always promote is respect, having respect for everyone. So when we have partnership scenarios and drills that we do, they have to interact with each other and work with each other, speak with each other, communicate with each other, and they build more confidence and a stronger relationship with each other as they work together as kids. So we really promote those activities, things that they can do, and it's really about them growing and feeling that confidence. The difference with the Roseau River Jiu-Jitsu Club versus, say, an academy or a Jiu-Jitsu in a city or another town is that we're specifically catering and we address issues that we specifically face as Aboriginal people or Anishinaabe people. So in our communities, on the reserve scenarios, and also we really want to build self-esteem with our Aboriginal people. And the difference is because I'm Anishinaabe, then our kids also see Anishinaabe person doing it. So it helps them and encourages them also to keep doing and achieve in that way. Well, for one, I enjoy it, but a lot of what I've seen now as I get older, I see the benefits in our young people. I see a lot more growth with them. I see a lot more growth within them. I see more self-esteem, I see them smiling, I see them happy, and I see them being strong advocates for themselves. I enjoy seeing people grow. It's a smaller community. Everyone comes to the mats, everyone is respectful, and it's a really good place to be, you know. So I really enjoy going back to that and being part of it, and seeing more people grow with the art, of course, learning, but also the friendships and bonds grow as well. After my first class, the first time I did it was something different. I knew about it, but I never really tried it because I came from a boxing background. So I had my own thoughts about, I don't know, I don't want no one holding me and stuff like that. And then I met Professor Sawatsky in Winnipeg at Red Road Ogichita Martial Arts, which was originally called, and that was headed up by Jason Bohm. And I got invited to go to the mats, and then yeah, it was pretty interesting because I was always a thinker, and then to try to challenge myself to something new was pretty overwhelming. And I didn't feel hurt or nothing, but I was just more intrigued, I guess you could say, and I just wanted to learn more how to do what he did, I guess. Okay, so Jiu-Jitsu, to me, how it varies different in the battle I had to go through, I guess, for myself with a boxing background. Where boxing, all martial arts and combative arts are really good, and they all have their own points. With boxing, it's a lot of distance control, but then your defense sometimes is being offensive and punching people and hurting people. And if they get in close past your safe zone, then sometimes you get stuck. So that versus jiu-jitsu, it kind of covers a lot of things, but we're not striking, we're not hurting anyone in our defensive and keeping ourselves safe, and we can control a situation. So I'd say that is the main difference between jiu-jitsu, and the training is a little bit different as well. So the training is different, and as far as sparring goes, with boxing, you have to spar if you want to get really good and you want to be competitive, if you're serious about boxing. And it has an age limit too, because as you get older, and I'm older, so I'm about 34 today, it's not like I want to keep fighting younger guys as I get older. So it's a lifespan too. The training is still good for boxing. I really enjoy it, and I love it, the bag work, everything, and I think it has still the same ethic of hard work, but part of it that I really love to do, I can't do so much. Whereas jiu-jitsu, where I train now, I can spar all the time with younger people, older people, doesn't matter, and I can still get that same good push, physical challenge, that's always there. So I'd say in jiu-jitsu, I just say it has more longevity, and I don't have headaches or black eyes when I go to work. So I say those are the two main differences when it comes to serious training in either one. Some of the people who participate in the Roseau River Jiu-Jitsu Club are our brothers, our sisters, young people, but we also have the parents or the guardians, family members spectate and watch. That's a very, very important dynamic for a student to be successful, is to have their parent or their guardian, I guess, to watch them, to see them grow and support them in that way, because I might be the instructor, but what the parents have to say and the ones who look after them is going to mean the most to them. So that's why it's important that parents be involved, brothers and sisters be involved, because they know each other the most, and they help each other when they, might not be feeling so well or do something good. So that encouragement from the family is very, very important. And we always encourage parents to be here, and it's always open for them to be here. I guess at first it's a bit worrisome, no one has to make their children compete or anything like that, but I leave it up to my son what he wants to do, and for me it's okay. I feel good, I feel confident. Hasn't been any fights in school as a result of it. He's a leading student in his class, he does well in all areas of school, making good friends, and he's a really good achiever, and that translates to other things he does in swimming. But for him, the jiu-jitsu, he really enjoys, and out of all the sports, he's given options to take. I don't make him take it, he wants to take it, so just supporting him in that effort really makes me happy. And knowing that he doesn't get out of control, and he has a completely different idea of respect, say the other kids who don't train in this kind of martial art. Well, one day for this past year, that's where we've been at, is one day. And throughout the one day week training, we were able to compete against schools in the city who have kids that train 2, 3 times, even 4 times a week consistently. And our system and our skills of our students have competed against them. And the first tournament we actually entered, we won the tournament as a whole. And so it ended up being our kids going against each other. Right? So if we looked at more time, then what would happen, I would foresee, is 3, 4 times a week at least. But what we would see is, of course, the confidence would grow, their language would grow even more because it's more consistent, their identity would grow. And so more time that we spend with our children is going to only benefit them and help them grow stronger, along with the parents as well, because the parents are there active, and we can do more activities as a family and build together our families. And that's part of what we'd like to do, is build our families back together. And through jiu-jitsu, there's a lot of answers towards that. And thinking about it and the origins of how it came to be in Roseau River, through Brazil, and actually going back to Japan. They have very eloquent schools. It's part of the normal society, and it's part of people's everyday routine. So if ever one day that could be part of it in their schooling, they teach it, or just part of wellness centers. I know around the world they have some of it. But to make it a regular part of people's lives in the community would be a really good goal, and establish a way in which to meet, greet, conduct ourselves, and get together socially as well. Well, I think people give it misinterpretation because they've never tried it themselves, and typically people only assume what a martial art is by what they see on, say, Hollywood, TV, movies, when they see fighting or boxing, and that's just what they assume what we do. But that's not exactly what jiu-jitsu is. It is a lifestyle, but we don't teach any kind of fighting. It's a lot about self-respect and avoiding a lot of those situations. We do train for certain scenarios, but we also train mostly to avoid those kind of scenarios where you might be in danger. But in this day and age, I think it's really important that people know how to defend themselves from life-threatening situations. Just due to the amount of things that go on, I'd say in our communities regarding violence, abuse, alcohol, drugs, and sometimes people are unsettled and they might get carried away. And it might not be their intent to go that way for a lot of times, but sometimes it ends up that way. So hopefully some people can have some things to defend themselves so they don't get hurt or anyone else, and they can just put out the situation before things get really out of hand.